It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and welcome yet again to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. We're coming off a great event last night. Just hosted the first annual That Business Show Awards Dinner, and it was an amazing success. We had 11 different award categories that we handed out, and we had so much excitement surrounding the event. And we'll get all the winners posted up on tampabayradio.com probably later on today. But again, just coming off a great event. So if you've been listening to the show for a while and you're a business owner or a professional, you need to get involved with the show. A lot of people making some great strides with their relationship with the program, from just the networking and just meeting the new people. We do a number of different things with different people within the group all the time. So please reach out to me. Best way to get me is through my contact form over at tampabayradio.com. Also, at the website, you'll notice that I do sell real estate, and I want to be your resource for buying and selling real estate in the Tampa Bay region. So you can check out all the local real estate listings there and also get a free home valuation. Put in your home's information in the Sell Your Home link on the homepage, and we'll get you over a home valuation, and we'll typically get those out within about 24 to 48 business hours. It's Tuesday, so this is our new weekly feature called TBBO Tuesdays, a weekly feature brought to us by the Tampa Bay Business Owners Organization, a great business networking group, and you can learn more about them over at tbbo.org. And on the phone line, I got the co-founder and CEO, Chris Kermitzos, with us today. Chris, good morning to you.
Morning, Jamie. I'm still recovering from your party last night. That was quite an event.
Thank you so much, and I am too. My brain is still not firing on all cylinders. Hopefully, I can get through this show. But yes, I'm on very limited sleep right now. But it was an amazing event, and I just want to thank you and the Tampa Bay Business Owners for the support of the show each and every Tuesday, and actually out throughout the week. I mean, it's not just a one-day thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you had two amazing speakers, and it was pretty cool. I saw a guy, and I said to Katie, I go, that looks like Coach Madden, and she goes, oh, okay. And then someone goes, and then I think Anthony Sullivan said, referenced. I mean, you had,
Joe Madden
coach
was
of the Rays of now currently the Cubbies. Pretty cool, front and center.
Yep, Chicago Cubs manager Joe Madden, our former Rays coach, was in attendance, and we had legendary TV pitchman Anthony Sullivan giving a keynote.
Oh
yeah, he's just a great person and an incredible speaker. He was a guest on the program last year, and so great listening to him last night. Got a few events coming up. Let's talk about what's coming up within the Tampa Bay Business Owners Organization. You got the Social Media Summit coming up this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday we got the Social Media Summit covering everything people need to know about Facebook, Instagram, also covering Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter, really covering what business owners need to know and how to use these platforms for lead generation. And then we're going to cover how you capture emails and really build your list. And then at the end, which platforms are best for your business, which ones you should zone in, because really you can't do all of them. We're also covering LinkedIn, and then how to use that for your business's benefit for 2016.
Yeah, and that's going on Friday, January 29th, 9:30 to 4 o'clock over at the Ramada West Shore. People can get some more information on this and all their events over at tbbo.org. Chris, how can people get involved with this? Just go to the website, sign up. Is there a fee to pay? Help?
It's $99 for non-members. Best way is just to purchase a ticket, and quite honestly, business owners travel to conferences where they pay $500 to $1,000 for a 3-day conference where they won't get a fraction of the information that we serve up for $99 one day locally here with some of the best experts in Tampa Bay. So I highly recommend it if you really want to get ahead in your business and invest in your business and get there. And then next month we have PodFest, which we're eclipsing the 100-person mark, and we're selling tickets faster as the dates approach. And that's really learning how to podcast and how to get out there. And for those of you that don't want to podcast, maybe you want to be an expert on a bunch of podcasts. We're going to teach people how to do that. and get the word out about their business. So it's pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing a podcast, and I mentioned last night kind of briefly that I'm looking to grow That Business Show brand. So if there's any other business podcasters that are doing maybe like a weekly podcast and they would like some additional exposure, talk with me and maybe we can talk about kind of building this brand together, because I do a real estate edition of That Business Show once a week. Maybe somebody out there who has a contracting business, or somebody out there may specialize in bankruptcy, kind of have different editions of That Business Show. So it's an idea that I'm looking to grow. But you're doing a great job promoting podcasting each and every month through so many different events. Plus, your Florida Podcasters group is a great resource. Tell the community about that.
Yeah, once a month we actually have a Florida podcast meetup. It's called the Florida Podcasters Association. Second Tuesday of every month at 6:30 to 8:30, we meet up in McAllister's Deli, right by across the street from the International Mall, and we teach people how to do it. We've launched at least 30 local podcasts, and people have had explosive results. So it's a really exciting time, and it's something I've been preaching to people for years now, but I see people getting results, and just really proud of them. But I also want to say you have two amazing guests today. I believe you have Gary Tini and Tanya Cielo.
Yes.
And you can't ask for two better people. They're just amazing human beings. So it's pretty exciting to hear what they have to say.
And real quick, I just want to ask you, I put you on the spot last night. You were a presenter at the awards ceremony. I was talking about your legendary national chair throwing incident with Joe Katz and Joe Redner when you're the host of the Bleep and Truth. So it's kind of, been kind of forgotten a little bit, but it's something that I remember. And it's actually how when I met Chris, I was like, I know this guy from somewhere. And it's because I used to watch your show, The Bleep and Truth. But your organization, TBBO, did it grow out of The Bleep and Truth?
Actually, I had two shows. The Bleep and Truth is what people remember, but I also had a show called Millionaire Mindset, which was more popular at the time, and that was a business show. So Tampa Bay business owners grew out of that show, and what I did was I sent out an email to everybody that used to watch. I had an opt-in, and 99 people showed up, and I pitched them this idea, and literally 20 people joined, and from there we went from 20 to 40, the next year 40 to 80, 80 to 160, and now we're 300 strong. So it's pretty amazing what having a dream and just putting it out there into the world can do.
Yeah, and it's a great organization, and I tell you what, it's just got some amazing members, and I learned something each and every event. So Chris Krimitsos, co-founder and CEO of the Tampa Bay Business Owners, thank you so much for your support each and every TBBO Tuesdays.
Hey, thanks, Jamie. You guys have a great show.
Thank you so much. And you can learn more about them, tpbo.org. They got many great events, and again, I highly recommend them. I'm going to take a quick break. Coming back from the break, though, we got a couple of the members in studio here. Got Gary Tini and Tanya Cielo, and it's going to be a great discussion. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Toseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Police on scene of a crash on southbound 301 at Fowler. Also one still blocking the left-hand lane on southbound Florida Avenue south of Beers. Westbound I-4 slow from 301 to 50th Street, and then on the brakes from 22nd Street to 275. Over in St. Petersburg, very slow traffic on northbound 275 from before downtown up through 54th Avenue North, and a crash on Almerton at Feather Sound. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Sundeater at Hillsborough Traffic. Tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Almost 1 billion children around the world live in extreme poverty. You can change or even save the life of one of those kids when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how you can help at compassion.com/radio.
Today, partly cloudy skies with a high 73. Tonight, a few showers moving in, low 63. Tomorrow, an 80% rain chance, high 70.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. We're on every weekday here at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. And we got all shows available on demand, both on TampaBayRadio.com. We got the audios over on SoundCloud, and we even have a YouTube channel because we have the video in here each and every morning. Josh Vozda, the producer for the video, does a great job. And you know what, Josh, you're probably quite tired after last night's awards dinner.
Yeah, but Rick's actually here. Could you go ahead and get the door?
Oh, yeah, I'm a photographer,
yeah,
yes.
Rick. Like, I worked late, but Rick went home and edited all the photos he took all night, and they're already up on the website, which is incredible. Because
that's why
I didn't get to bed till after midnight.
Yeah, and
so I can only imagine.
Yeah, what we did last night, we had 5 different nominees in each of the categories, and Tampa Bay Multimedia put together a video clip, sort of like if you're watching an award show and you had a nominee nominated for a certain movie, you'd see a clip of them in the movies. Well, we had a clip of them and their interviews here in the show, and they did a great job putting that together, and they really only had about a week to put that thing together. 55 different clips that you had to get
James
in
actually
order.
did all of that. James is our in-studio technical director / editor, and he put that together painstakingly. He worked pretty hard on it.
Yeah, and then Rick was there last night doing some amazing photography work, and he's in here each and every morning and running a little bit behind, 10 minutes behind, but not a problem at all. That's why he's a Partner of the Year. I give him the Partner of the Year award last night. He's an amazing supporter of the program, asks nothing in return, shows up in here every morning.
So
and
that's
takes
a great example.
He does, and takes some amazing photography. So if you're in need of a photographer, there's nobody better out there than Rick Toseda. Please visit his website, ricktoseda.com, or just Facebook friend us, and you can see some of his amazing photography each and every morning.
And if you need video work,
Tampa Bay Multimedia over there, WeBeamTV.com. They run a number of different programs, including my own, so and they do a great job as well. Let's go ahead and bring on our guests for the program. We got Gary Teeney, who is a consultant and owner of Transformational Consulting for Business. Gary is able to help business owners reach their goals because he's learned the best operating practices of a wide range of businesses during his 30-plus years managing and owning radio stations and cable channels. Joined in studio by Tanya Cielo, founder of Sky Strategic Marketing, who helps business owners squash their competition and get their unfair share of business in the market. She is a certified marketing facilitator with 18 years of marketing experience for media companies such as Clear Channel, Cox Radio, and Beasley Broadcasting. Tanya and Gary, welcome to the program today.
Hi, good morning.
So, Gary, I'll start with you. Describe a little bit more to me about your business. Are you a business coach, a consultant? What are you specifically?
Well, I was actually on a radio show, years ago, and they asked that very same question. And what I do is I go into a business, I generally look at 4 years of their financials, I find out where they've been, where they're at, and where they want to go, and then I come back in a few weeks with a plan to get them to their goals. And when I call the next week and I ask the owner, so what happened when we implemented that program last week? And I hear, and I go, you didn't implement the program? And he goes, no. And I go, now I have to be a coach. So a consultant comes in and tells business owners what to do. A coach kind of finds out why they don't do what they're supposed to do and helps them there. And I actually have to be both, but my focus is on the consulting side.
How do you hold business owners accountable? Because it seems like, people want to do better, but then, when you tell me to do something, I'm going to hit you with a number of excuses. You've got a real challenge keeping people accountable.
Well, I start by early on saying I'm a Texas boy, and I can be nice or I can tell you the truth. And they almost always laugh, just like you just did. And then a week, a month, 6 months later, I'll go, remember when I told you I could be nice or tell you the truth? I'm about to tell you the truth. And then oftentimes, in fact, most of the time what happens is, Gary, I knew I was going to be seeing you today, and so I did what I told you I was going to do last week. Because many business owners have really no one to hold them accountable, and they do understand that accountability process is not just important for them, but for every employee they have in their company and for their vendors, so that we really do establish an accountability process across a business.
I spoke about the importance of having a mentor at all times in your business last night at my awards dinner. That cannot be understated, the importance of having somebody that you're striving to impress or striving to, get the work done for. And, in my earliest, when I was younger, my mentor was my father. And then within business, there's been certain business leaders. But you get to a point in your business where you're kind of at a level that the people around you are underneath of you, and you need to reach out to consultants and business coaches to help you get to that next level.
Really. And so let me go back to what Chris said with TBBO. What TBBO is doing in the Tampa Bay market is an invaluable resource for business owners. And they've also got mastermind groups called EG3 that allow like-minded business owners to work together to grow their business. So I can't say enough good things about TBBO because they really support the business community in Tampa Bay.
How did you find the consulting business then? You have a huge background in sales and radio management and cable channel management. How did you fall into consulting?
Well, I would sell someone an advertising program in radio, come back a week or two later and go, wait a minute, where's the items that we're promoting on the radio? And I go, well, Gary, we put it behind the counter so people have to ask for it so we'll know it's working. And I go, that's not the way advertising works. So what I discovered was I had to really support my clients in using their advertising effectively, because if they didn't see their cash register sales go up, they blamed me regardless of whose fault it was. And so that's really how I became a consultant. And that multiplied once I became an owner, because I really quit selling advertising and started working business owner to business owner, going, hey, we're both in this together. Let's do whatever it takes to grow our own businesses and get through these interesting times.
And a name I see on your bio that I hadn't heard in some time, Ross Perot. You worked for Ross Perot. Tell me, what was your role with Ross Perot?
Well, you talk about mentors. An incredibly talented, powerful businessman. He had me, he was in a project with Mark White, the ex-governor of Texas, and they had me bring a radio station into Houston, and I got to see the impact of when you do business at the level H. Ross Perot does business, the difference it makes. So that was truly a mentor in my life.
Yeah, is he still on the political scene at all, or the business scene? Like I said, I haven't heard his name in a while.
I think he dropped out dramatically when he did his presidential thing, and he doesn't take BS very well, right. And he didn't put up with it, and there's a lot of it in politics. And he decided he wasn't going to go that direction.
Tanya, let me throw it over to you. Tell me more about Sky Strategic Marketing. What is this?
Hi, Jamie. Thanks so much for having me. So basically, I worked in radio and media for so long, and what I noticed was that there was a disconnect between what we were doing for them from a marketing standpoint and what was available to them on their own. So when the economy took a dive many years ago, I noticed that grassroots marketing was really the place to be that could really impact small to medium-sized business owners' bottom line. So I just started coaching, and I found that niche, and it's been great for all of my clients having that grassroots marketing.
When did you start Sky Strategic Marketing?
3.5 years ago. I started on Halloween was actually my first day.
Wow. What was your catalyst then for getting out of the corporate world and into your own business?
Well, funny you should ask. Actually, Gary has been my business coach for about 4 years now. And like I said, I noticed that there was this disconnect with the community when there was a dip in the market. And I wanted to be able to offer my clients these opportunities. However, that wasn't in my arsenal at the radio station. So I figured, gosh, if I could just have an unbiased communication with them, that they could really skyrocket. So
now talk to the listeners out there about taking that initial jump out of the corporate world into your own business. I mean, did you have a lot of money saved? Was this kind of a leap of faith? Tell me about making that transition, because there's so many people that get to that point and they have a good idea, they have talent, they just don't make that transition. How were you able to make that transition?
That's a great question. So luckily I had a business coach that I had been working with prior to, and we put together a plan in place because, you have this idea and you have this deadline of when you're going to do it, but then something happens, this amazing account comes on, or if you really love your job, you're not like dying to get out. And that really was the case when I was working in radio. I really enjoyed it. So I set a deadline for myself, and it was literally, I announced to the world, I'd been networking for quite some time, that there was this new business that I had, and I had so much support from the community and through Gary and BNI and just other networking groups that I was in, that my business just skyrocketed. I had some savings, obviously, and I had a super supportive husband, and it just...
But a lot of it was a leap of faith based on your own abilities, what you believed you could accomplish,
Absolutely,
though, correct?
Yes.
And you started working with a coach immediately then, so you found Gary, and so you had a coach from the beginning, correct?
Sure. Well, I think what's the most important is that I prepared. I worked with Gary for about a year prior to leaving, so that I had all my ducks in a row, and I knew what to expect when I...
How did you find Gary to begin with? Was it through one of the networking groups?
Yeah, so Gary and I are both in BNI, and I'm on the director consultant team, and so I met Gary, and of course we connected. We both have been in radio for so long, and he's just such a charismatic, smart person.
So what attracted you to Gary? Tell me a little bit about his talents. Give me a testimonial for Gary.
Oh my gosh, he's smart in so many ways. He, from an operations, business, just the knowledge that he has, and what was really attractive to me was his background in radio. So he's owned and operated other radio groups in the past, so that was very important to me.
Gary, have you ever had to crack down on her, kind of take out some of that Texas tough guy out of you?
Well, Tanya has so many talents. The key in just supporting Tanya is to have her focus in the direction that she's on at that moment, because she's a powerful force in nature. And one thing that she didn't bring up in what made it easy for her to transition is she's a rock star for her clients. And when they discovered that she could support them for all of their marketing, not just their radio, they lined up to be a part of her life. And it's been amazing to watch her grow. And she talked about small business. She's got a lot of very large clients that she does their social media for, because once they see what she can do and the difference it makes in their business, they keep going with her.
Tanya, tell me, what have you grown the business into today? Tell me a little bit more about what it is now.
So now I have an amazing staff. I've been really fortunate to hire just these rock stars in a lot of other fields that we're offering at the agency. We have an adorable office right at the Santa Art Studio, and we're just doing a lot of speaking engagements, and we're traveling to meet other clients, and it's just been amazing.
Is there a certain niche client that you work for or work with, or is it pretty much open to any type of business?
Great question. We work with a lot in the restaurant business. That's a big industry for us. There's a lot of things going on there that are big for us, and we work with a lot of franchises, a lot of small to medium-sized businesses.
All right, good information. I got to take a quick bottom of the hour break, but I'm currently in studio with Gary Teeney, owner and consultant with Transformational Consulting for Business. And you can learn more about him at the website consultantstcb.com, and also Tanya Cielo with Sky Strategic Marketing. Learn more about her at skystrategicmarketing.com. And also, you're listening to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show, so please check out tbbo.org and help support them through their many great networking events. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first, with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-908-0586. 800-908-0586.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound I-75 still a bit slow from Fletcher Avenue to I-4. Also westbound I-4 from 75 to 50th Street. And then approaching 275. Big delays on the Gandy Bridge this morning. It's backed up from the St. Pete side of the bridge all the way through that light at West Shore. And northbound 275 in St. Petersburg still slow from downtown up through 54th Avenue North, and seeing some congestion in that area of 4th Street and Gandy as well through the construction areas there. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son Uterek Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Tampa International Airport. Construction at Tampa International Airport is taking off as they continue to set new passenger records. For a limited time, overnight parking in the short-term garage is unavailable. Traffic will be heavy at peak hours. Please plan ahead and consider their stress-free economy parking.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. High today, warming into the low mid-70s. We'll see sunshine with a few increasing scattered clouds picking up. Low 60s for the low tonight. See cloudy skies for tomorrow. 70% chance of rain, upper 60s. Mid-60s rain on Thursday, and then into the low 60s with sunshine on Friday. Impact Radio 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Also, we've expanded the brand to include a sixth show each and every week. That show, entitled That Business Show, the Real Estate Edition, airs Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. on 970 WFLA. And I and my co-host Frank Cotto of the Lincoln Lending Group talk all about real estate, getting back to my roots, which is how I got on radio to begin with the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show just over about 2.5 years ago. That show is available on demand both on TampaBayRadio.com and on iTunes as well as a podcast. It's Tuesday, so it's TBBO Tuesdays, a new weekly feature brought to us by the Tampa Bay Business Owners Organization. Please visit tbbo.org for their many events, a great business networking group, highly recommended by me. And we're currently in studio with a couple of their members today, Gary Tini and Tanya Cielo. So, Gary, let me throw back over to you. You're a business consultant. Is there a certain niche client that you work with?
Well, the strange thing is, because almost all of my business comes from referrals, I'm all over the board. But one of the niches that I have is I help clients win government contracts. Almost no one thinks if you don't eat, live, breathe, and sleep in their industry, you can help them. Very few people think that they can win government contracts. And once they hire me to do that and they see what skills I bring to the table, they go, well, can you help me with this project or whatever? And so that's kind of the niche that I have.
That is a very good resource to know about the government contracts, because there's tens of thousands of them sitting out there. I mean, how did you fall into this niche? Did you work with a government contract and kind of learn about it that way?
Well, if you own a radio station, you get to deal with the FCC, and as a license holder, that was an adventure. I was building a 1,000-foot tower, and I had to deal with the FAA, and that was quite an adventure. I was putting 4 other radio stations on my tower, and then I put together a group of radio owners to go after newspaper budgets and take 25% of their newspaper budget. And I thought about that, and I went, I think I've heard something about collusion. And so I called my FCC attorney in Washington, D.C., and I said, is this collusion? He goes, yes, but that's not an FCC issue. That's an FTC issue, Federal Trade Commission issue. And so I spent some time sitting in on phone calls with the FTC. And once I realized how much money government spends, about 6-8 years ago when I thought the economy was going to go south, I said, I need to look at additional revenue streams for my clients. And I really started working hard in those government contracts, and over the last 8 or 9 years have probably won probably $20+ million for clients just in the Tampa Bay area.
Wow. Generally speaking, what tip can you give to business owners out there that are competing for these government contracts? I know I deal with them with real estate, with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the HUD homes.
Sure.
But I mean, so what tip can you give business owners that are competing for these business contracts, or government contracts?
If you can, get small business, female-owned, or minority certified.
I was going to ask that. So
SBE is $2 million or less than 25 employees. It's free to do that. Hillsborough County has a wonderful support, and if you get that certification, it covers 5 counties in Tampa. So that's just a given. Do that if you can. The second thing is get registered and start getting those RFPs, those requests for proposals. And based on who you are, anyone that would like some information, I'd be happy to send them the link for Hillsborough County or Tampa to get certified as a no-charge thing. Just for
what's the best way to get you on that? Go and give out contact for them.
Either through my website or gary.teeny@consultantstcb.com.
Yeah, and your website again, consultantstcb.com. But I cannot understate the importance of winning government contracts as a business owner. I mean, they are great sources of income in a number of different areas.
And in Florida, those checks clear, unlike some other states.
Tony, we throw it back over to you. You're with Sky Strategic Marketing. Let's talk about some tips that you can give some business owners. How could companies stand out at a trade show?
So just recently, TBBO had this amazing event, Christmas in July, and there were tons and tons and tons of folks in different booths. And what I noticed was companies that stayed in alignment with who they were really stood out. So like, for example, we love rescuing animals. I happen to be a squirrel rehabber. So we dressed up as squirrels, and we said, we're nuts about marketing. We had this cool backdrop with like a squirrel house and a little squirrel poking out of it. And so we asked folks to come by our booth, and we took pictures with them all dressed up as squirrels.
Wait, you said you were a squirrel rehabber? Is that what you said?
Yes.
What do you find injured squirrels in the
People
wild?
call, a
Really?
little baby falls out of the nest. All kinds of crazy things happen. The wind, tree cutters, they chop down their house.
Wow. And
very
you
sad.
would nurse them back to health, or do you take them to the vet? I mean, who's paying for this?
we do it out of the kindness of our heart, and there's just a nice group here in Tampa that helps injured animals, possums, all kinds of little
Even the
critters.
possums? Oh, wow. So you're just
Possums
a wild...
need love too, Jamie.
Oh, wow. So you're not a cat or dog person then?
I know. Please, I have a whole farm at my house. I have 2 pigs, cats, dogs. It could get crazy. But just,
Any apes?
No, not yet. But there's still
might
time.
need a place to live. I'm just asking.
But there's just different things a business can do to stand out. So something like that, or give away a huge prize, that could be really nice. Being there with a huge smile, I mean, that sounds like basic information, but you'd be surprised. You could pass by a booth and there's someone who doesn't want to be there. They're just sitting there like, wah, wah. I mean, that really affects the type of traffic that'll come to you. So being there with a great attitude and being there with something that's going to help you stand out always helps.
Now, you say you work with restaurants a lot, and you say restaurants should be scared of smartphones. Why is this?
So for just the same reasons that it's very helpful, right? People are out there chatting about you. The new currency are reviews. So that's why Yelp and TripAdvisor, they're fantastic for restaurants. But at the same time, it's uncontrolled by the restaurant. So you can't imagine how many thousands of dollars a restaurant spends with a food stylist and the perfect lighting and this and that to get that perfect picture for their menu. And then here I come with my $2 phone, take a picture of it with the French fries all messy, like ketchup all over. It's just certain things like that that don't represent the brand as it's intended. Or, God forbid, there's a little critter on the ground or 2 forks on the ground. You take a picture of that. And
what recourse, if any, does a restaurant or a business have when there's a negative review that's really untruthful and just somebody who's just looking to make them look bad for whatever reason? Is there any recourse?
Absolutely. So you could either contact the organization itself, so like Yelp or TripAdvisor, they have a customer service line where you can email and you present your case. This is not true. This is why, blah, 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 blah. Or, you can hire an agency like us. We do reputation management and we help. We monitor all those reviews. We respond right away, whether it's positive or negative. We, acknowledge it and we remedy from there.
Okay, so that's your niche, like you said before. You're doing social media and marketing management for restaurants. And so do you have good success with getting negative reviews pulled down from some of these sites that are not truthful?
Absolutely. Now, it has to be actual. It can't say, like, the food sucks, blah, 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 blah. There has to be some more information on it.
Right, just a general opinion, like, I did not like the food. That's just general stuff. But if somebody goes into elaborate detail about an untruthful event, then you would get involved,
Correct.
for instance. Okay.
And even if it's something small, like they just didn't like the food, to acknowledge that and to grow from it is really the space that we're in for our clients. If we see, the drinks are watery after five reviews, then obviously that's something that we can address with the client. So it's just really great to have a third party to oversee that process.
And sites like Yelp and other review sites, I don't review these too often because I think too many negative people focus on those sites. Do you see a lot of positive people going to these sites? Because that's a big complaint that I have with society. People are quick to complain, but they're very slow to compliment.
That's absolutely true. And that's kind of the danger of it is now with a smartphone, everybody is a food critic. So they may have not gone to school for it or have the palate for it, but anyone can post about it. So there are definitely great positive folks that are putting positive reviews, and then there's folks that are like, geez, this is my platform and I can complain about whatever I want.
Yeah, that just has always bothered me about society. I always try to focus on the positive things, and if there is a situation where I need to put a negative feedback for whatever reason, I offer some type of constructive criticism. Sure. I don't just say, that sucked, I can't believe they did that,
or get a hold of them privately.
Yeah, or even better, I really don't like to embarrass anybody unless it's just blatant behavior or something like that.
Well, I'd just like to say, if you have a business and you are not paying attention to your reviews, I don't know about you guys, I don't buy anything without looking at testimonials and reviews, and I'll go 10, 20, 30 deep, and I'll look at the bad ones, and if they make sense to me, I may or may not buy that. And if you're not doing that for your business, I suggest strongly you call Tanya, because she and her team will solve that problem for you and bring you up into the 21st century of what you have to be doing if you run a business in the world of social reviews.
So, Tanya, talk to us about grassroots tips for small businesses then. How can businesses kind of get started from the ground up?
Oh, there's so many great free things that are available to business owners. Booking speaking engagements, networking. Now, one mistake some businesses make is they join like 5, 10 organizations and then they don't really execute one well. So just pick a handful of organizations that you're very passionate about, like TBBO is great, BNI is great, Working Women of Tampa Bay, CABA. I mean, there's so many that are huge here in the Tampa area that are very helpful for businesses. Connecting with nonprofits or associations that you're passionate about, that's another great way to get out there. And plus you're giving back to the community. Reaching out to your church. I mean, if you just open your eyes, there's just tons of free things right there, and you can do good at the same time.
Yeah, I can't underestimate or understate the value of a great networking group. Gary, how has TBBO helped grow your business?
Well, first of all, it's all about business owners wanting to grow their business together, and it's all about education. The programs that Chris talked about earlier are business life changing for the TBBO members. And once you join, you get the TBBO Vault. They videotape all of these things, and you can go back and review them, or you can have your manager review them. And I strongly suggest that business owners who may not think they have the time to go to the Friday event, send someone on their team, because that person will come out of there with a whole new understanding of the power of social media and the step-by-step ways you've got to move your business through that process. It's a great organization, and I just wish it was in every market. But Chris and Katie care so much about Tampa Bay, that's all they want to focus on.
And Tanya, I'll ask you the same thing. How has TBBO helped grow your business as well?
Oh, it's been huge to make strategic connections with folks that are in the same playground as we are, but not necessarily competitive. So we've made great relationships with like folks in the digital world, printing, areas that we can combine powers and then just make an amazing product for our clients.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned at the top of the hour, the social media summit that Gary just touched on. Again, that's going to be going on Friday, January 29th, 9:30 to 4 o'clock over at the Ramada West Shore. You can get your tickets over at tbbo.org, and again, I highly recommended.
And I just want to say, TBBO does a cruise where they bring in the experts from all over the United States, and I chose to go on that cruise the year before last, and I asked my wife, who's not a social butterfly, if she'd like to go on the cruise. Normally, she'll take 30 minutes at a restaurant to decide what she wants to eat. She goes, okay. I went, wow, aliens have taken over my wife. But she knew how great TBBO members were, and she wanted to be a part of that excitement. So it's not just a great educational, it's also you'll make friendships for life because it's like-minded business owners growing together.
Yeah, great organization. Again, highly recommended. I got to take a break here. Currently in studio with Gary Teedy, owner and consultant with Transformational Consulting for Business. Learn more about him, consultantstcb.com. And also in studio with Tanya Cielo with Sky Strategic Marketing. Visit skystrategicmarketing.com for more information on her. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound 275 still very slow from Fletcher to Sly. Southbound Veterans Expressway, typical delays from Gun Highway to Waters. Howard Franklin Bridge, it is slow from Midspan into Tampa, and the Gandy Bridge is jammed from the St. Pete side through the light at West Shore. Northbound 275, it's slow from 175 up towards 54th Avenue North. Crash off to the right-hand side there. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
Today, partly cloudy skies with a high 73. Tonight, a few showers moving in, low 63. Tomorrow, an 80% rain chance, high 70.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney. In studio with Gary Teeney and Tanya Cielo, a couple of members with the Tampa Bay Business Owners. Please help support the Tampa Bay Business Owners. Visit tbbo.org for more information. Now, Gary, you've been working with Tanya for a number of years, and I see you've brought a gift here for her.
Yes, Tanya is one of the most passionate people I know for her clients, but she's also passionate about a lot of other things, and so I got her something to honor that passion.
I love gifts.
What do we have here?
Let's see.
She's opening up this box here. I have no idea what's there. Hopefully it's
be gentle.
Hopefully it's a clean present here. Nothing surprising here.
Adorable.
What
It's
is
a
it?
skiing squirrel.
Skiing
See, for the
squirrel.
rehabbers. I love it. I'm nuts about it. Thank you.
Is that was inspired by the squirrel that we see on the social media or
Well,
YouTube
it
that's
was
skiing on
Squirrel
water?
Appreciation Week, and so I just had to honor Tanya and her passion for protecting squirrels.
How did you get involved with the squirrel rescue? Has that just been a passion of yours as a child?
No, actually, funny story, because it's coming up on my squirrel's 2-year anniversary.
Oh, is this
Super
you have a
Bowl
pet squirrel?
Sunday. Yes, I do. 2 Super Bowl Sundays ago, I was just walking my dog with one of my girlfriends, and boom, there was like this weird little critter down in the grass with like all these leaves around it. I picked it up, and it was a tiny, tiny squirrel with his eyes. Her eyes were still closed and like all curled up, still like a little rat tail. And I mean, I didn't even know what it was. And we cared for it.
So
we nursed
it was an infant.
It had gotten kicked out of the nest, or I don't know if a cat tried to get it. We're not sure, but now she's ours. I mean, she's our amazing pet, Pee-wee. We have a whole room dedicated to her. She's got
Can you play?
trees.
Does the squirrel connect with you like a cat or a dog? I mean, can you go in there and pet the squirrel and it come over and sit with you? I mean, they're still like a wild, animal though, right?
They are still wild, but they get used to you, and because you raise it since they're little, so you come home and you're like, Pee-wee, I'm here, and she jumps and runs all the way up to you and climbs up your body and like runs around you like a.
So what do you say to people that say that squirrels are just a rat with a puffy tail?
What I want to do is punch their face, but I don't, because everyone's entitled to their opinion. But it's really opened up our eyes to just caring for things in the wild. And so what we do now for any other squirrel that we find or folks call us for, we help raise them till they're about 4 months old, and then we bring them to a place where they can be soft released and go back in the wild, because really that's where they belong.
Is there a community of squirrel lovers that do this? Really?
There sure is. Actually, Rhonda from TBBO, she was like my first squirrel mentor. She gave me my little cage, and one day I called her like, oh my gosh, something happened. And so she just really walked me through. She does possums too. I mean, Rhonda's the best at TBBO.
And you keep the squirrel in a little cage of some sort, a little like an aquarium type of looking thing?
She's got an entire room with trees in there, and we did ropes around the room, so she's like going.
You put a leash on her and take her for a walk, or what?
No, she could be scared, but she has, full reign of her room. She has like a dirt pit. I mean, she lives better than we do. When I was in college, I had like a smaller place than that.
Oh, wow. And so you've taken some of your marketing projects and revolved them around squirrels. Then
I sure have.
Interesting.
It's been great.
So tell me then, how has the marketing landscape in your business, or in your opinion, changed over the last 5 years?
Wow, well, there's just so many things that are different as far as the digital world is where it's at. Video and digital, if you're not playing in that playground, then you better wake up, because it's there. The millennials are there. That's how you need to speak with them. And just being focused with what your brand is. People get nervous like, oh, I'm not this Bank of America and I don't have millions of dollars to spend every month. That's okay. Getting in with grassroots marketing has really been very effective, and people are looking for genuine things now versus before it was like bigger, better customer service. That stuff is like, you don't hear it anymore because it's just noise.
Yeah, you mentioned the millennials. We got to begin as business owners focusing on the growth and the importance of the millennials in the community. Gary, how do you work with millennials in your consulting practice?
Most of my clients are business owners, probably above the age of 40. And when I've got someone who needs to reach out to millennials, in their business because of their customer base, then I refer to someone like Tanya that can really focus the message to their ears. And I strongly suggest people look at Tanya's Marketing Mastermind course, that if they spend the 13 weeks in that program, they can really get a good, strong foundation in social media.
Do you have a program then? He mentioned, what is this exactly?
I do. So I have a Marketing Mastermind group where we meet once a month, and each month we focus on something that I would actually facilitate for my own clients. So I give them all my tricks and tips. So 1 month it'll be speaking engagements, 1 month it'll be PR, 1 month it'll be Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So I just arm these business owners with the tools so that they can enforce it on their own.
Okay, is millennials your niche or no?
It's not necessarily the niche, but they're grasping towards it very quickly, and so it's been very helpful for them.
Let's talk about the importance of then brand identity. What does brand identity mean to you, and why is it so important?
Well, without knowing what your brand identity is, you're kind of all over the place. So once you've identified what that is, what is your tone? Are you going to be friendly? Are you funny? Are you serious? Are you detail oriented? What is it that your brand or service can provide to your customers? And then making sure that everything you do from then on communicates that same identity. So like me, I'm kind of fun. Our agency, we're creative. So if we were somewhere and we're like, here's our booth, that would be in conflict with what our identity is. We're creative, we're out of the box, and so we make sure that everything we execute matches that. So it would be the same for any business owner.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary, how do you incorporate brand identity into your consulting practice?
Well, I've had the pleasure of working for some of the largest corporate players like Coca-Cola, Disney, Honda. For Coca-Cola, they had me speak at their annual convention to train 20 bottlers at a time based on what I'd done for a local Coca-Cola bottler. And no one has a better brand than Coca-Cola. But if you integrate everything from top to bottom, that brand identity is going to have a lot more impact. So you don't have to be a Coca-Cola to take advantage of what the big guys know. You can actually take advantage of their research and what they do, implement it into your business, and it'll really have a big impact.
Yeah, I see you're the highest case sales for a Coca-Cola bottler in the U.S. You also worked with, we mentioned earlier, Ross Perot, and you also worked with Roger Staubach, legendary quarterback. So you got quite the impressive resume here.
I had the pleasure of hiring him and working with him for a year on a television show called Inside Dallas that did video probably like Josh does for local businesses and highlighted what they do and how they do it. And working with Roger was a joy. He's a saint of a guy and a tremendous businessman.
And you also owned a couple radio stations. How have you seen radio change over the last 10 years or so?
Well, once upon a time, it was mom and pop owned, and I was one of those pops and had the pleasure of owning 2 radio stations in Texas. Now it's pretty much all the big guys. So I think there's 9 stations here owned by one group. Great group. But it's the kinds of show like you have that bring it back to the local focus. That's really what I consider the power of radio to be. Not some show in New York that's getting broadcast in Tampa, but a show that touches local community. So I really want to congratulate you for doing that, Jamie.
Thank you very much. And that was actually one of my goals, is bring back local programming with a positive message, get away from all the shock jocks, news, sports, and political talk that's on the airwaves just a little too much. Gary and Tanya, thank you so much for being in studio, making it a great TBBO Tuesdays.
Thank you.
It's
been great.
Absolutely. And again, Gary Tini, owner and consultant with Transformational Consulting Business. Learn more about him, consultantstcb.com. And Tanya, CLO with Sky Strategic Marketing. Visit skystrategicmarketing.com for more information. And please help support the Tampa Bay business owners. Learn more about them and their many events, tbbo.org. And also check out tampabayradio.com, where you can find all shows available on demand and so much more. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.